Are you boot shopping, looking at the Tech 7 or the Sidi Atojo and can't decide which one to get? Well, today we're going to help you make that decision in this Versus. All right, everyone, thank you for checking in. Today we're doing one of my favorite videos. This is another Versus. We have the Tech 7 from Alpinestars and we have the Atojo from Sidi. Both really good boots that I've spent a lot of time in. And today what I want to do is just go through, give you my feedback. I'm going to compare these two boots side by side in a lot of different categories. We'll talk about the fit, the comfort, the peg and the bike feel. We'll talk about construction, support, protection, all the different categories. I'll say what I like and dislike about each one, and at the end of this, I will tell you which one of these two boots I would choose if I could only take one home with me. Now, like I said, both these are very popular boots. The Tech 7, it's the mid-level boot in Alpinestars lineup, but I still consider it a premium option because you've got guys like Jeremy Stenberg, aka Twitch, he's rocking these. Josh Hill wears a Tech 7. Max Volan, I've seen him rocking these boots. So there's a lot of top-level riders that really like the Tech 7. And price point on this, because that is going to be one deciding factor for some people. For the Tech 7, you're going to be between $350 and a little over $400, depending on which one you get. And with the Atojo, you're going to be north of $500. So they're pretty good price gap between these two. Is definitely one thing that you do want to think about. Where the Atojo gets its name is from the three riders from the MXGPs that helped develop it. You've got Antonio Cairoli, Jorge Prado, and Alessandro Lupino. Top level guys in the MXGPs help make this. Now, one thing about these two that's going to be pretty different is sizing. Now with the Tech 7, I got to give the nod to this boot as far as comfort goes. And if you read rider reviews, which again, don't just take my word for it, read rider reviews, see what other people are saying. Everyone's going to tell you that the Tech 7 is probably one of the most comfortable motocross boots that they've ever tried on. This thing, the toe box is nice and wide. The length is true to size. And you just never hear people say that they don't like the fit of the Tech 7. So if you have a wider foot, Tech 7 is going to be the way to go. With the Atojo, this boot does have a more narrow toe box. So for riders that have really wide feet, might not be the best option, but if you're a narrow foot guy, then yeah, you're probably going to really like the Atojo. And also, one thing that I do notice is that a term I use a lot is called heel float. And what that means is that when you have the boot on, you've got all the buckles cinched down. How well does your ankle stay in place? So if you're riding or just even walking, does your heel lift up off the footbed at all? The Atojo does a really, really good job of keeping the ankle tight and just sucked in to where it doesn't move. And I really, really like that. The Tech 7 could use a little TLC in that category, in my opinion. It's one of the boots that I always struggle with because it just does have a lot of heel float in it. That's one drawback to the fit, for me at least, that I've had with the Tech 7. As far as the cap opening goes on the top, it's going to be pretty comparable on both of these. Now, one thing you do want to know about the Atojo as well is that there are in certain sizes, for example, I wear size 9 in the Tech 7. They don't have a 9 in the Atojo. They have an 8.5 and then they have a 9.5. So for me, I'm kind of right in between those sizes, which is kind of a bummer. So just keep that in mind that you will see half sizes on some of them with the Atojo. And also remember too, we have our fit guarantee. No matter which one of these you buy, if you don't like how they fit, you can send the boot back in brand new unused condition. You can exchange it for a different size in the same boot or even a completely different boot. And we do that just to make sure you get the size and the fit that's going to be best for you. But like I said, as far as the fit goes, full on comfort, Tech 7, but I like how the Atojo keeps the ankle in place a little bit better. Let's talk about your construction here. So with these, with the Tech 7, you've got some leather on the toe box. You have microfiber, which is a synthetic leather that we see in a lot of different boots. And then you have a lot of hard plastic all throughout here. So plenty of impact protection on the Atojo, or excuse me, the Tech 7. With the Atojo, a little bit different. You got a lot of hard plastic on here, but they use a proprietary material called Techno Micro, which is this base material that you're seeing here. And again, it's a synthetic leather, but it's something that Sidi's been using for years, and they say that's going to be more durable than microfiber or just genuine leather. And so that's what they've been using. And also one thing about these boots that I do like on both is the weight. So I weighed a size 10 in the Tech 7 and the 9.5 in the Atojo, 1 ounce difference. The Tech 7 was 3 pounds 14 ounces, the Atojo 3 pounds 13 ounces. So they are two of the lightest boots that we do these Versus videos with. And what's nice too is that they feel really light when you have these on. So that is one aspect about both of these that I really do like. Now, one other note that I do want to point out as far as the construction goes, and we'll talk about the soles here in a little bit, is that on the medial side, and we're going to get more about this when we talk about bike feel and grip, is that the Tech 7, all this right here is just hard plastic. Whereas with the Atojo, you have these rubber inserts right here. And then both of these with the Tech 7, you got this rubberized panel here. And then you've got all this rubber right here on the Atojo. Here's the thing though, when I'm squeezing and gripping the bike, where I feel the boot contacting the bike the most is right down here in that ankle area. So I like the fact that they do have these rubber inserts right here on the Atojo. I just feel like it gives a little bit better grip to the bike when you're squeezing versus what you get with the Tech 7. So that's how they are built. As far as durability, like I said, a lot of riders here have been spending a lot of time in both of these boots, and the durability on both has been really good. There is a couple things that you'll want to point out. We'll talk about how Sidi does have the replaceable sole here in just a moment. So does the Tech 7. The Sidi is going to be a little bit easier. But I do want to point out though that with the Sidi, there are more replaceable parts on this boot. For example, this insert right here on the medial side is replaceable. So if that did wear out, you can just replace that. And also, we're gonna move on to our next category of protection in just a moment, but this entire plastic piece right here that wraps around the ankle, this is also replaceable. And so, which is nice because this part of the boot is always a high wear item for a lot of different riders. With the Tech 7, the only thing that's gonna be replaceable on this is the buckles and then also with the sole. All right, that's construction. Durability, the buckle design on both of these are both good buckle designs. I will side, however, with the Tech 7. I just feel like they work just a little bit better, easier to grab. My only drawback with the Sidi buckles is that they're just a little bit smaller, sometimes a little bit harder to get, but I'm splitting hairs here. They're both a good design. I really don't have any issues with either one of the buckles on here. All right, let's talk about protection. Ultimately, that's what you're investing in here with the pair of boots. And both of these boots are pretty neck and neck in that category. You know, out of the box, the Tech 7 is going to be a little bit stiffer, but it just takes a little bit more time to break in. The Atojo, there's very little break-in period with this boot. But as far as just like the impact protection and the support, you know, they feel pretty similar, but there are some differences here that I want to point out. So first of all, for riders that this is important to, with the toe box, you can see with the Tech 7, a lot softer on the toe box, so easier for me to press in with my thumb. With the Atojo, can't really do that nearly as much. It's a lot firmer on the toe box. So for just overall impact protection, if you're scared of maybe getting your foot smashed between the rock and the bike or something like that, the Atojo is going to be better there. As far as your impact absorption, so with the Tech 7, what they've actually done is they have their flex blade here on the back, which is kind of a tongue and groove, which is there to help dampen the hyperextension. So this tongue, as it goes up in this groove, it will slowly, you know, dampen the amount of that impact that you have. So you have that there, and they also do have their biomechanical link on the lateral side here, and then they have a pivot point on the medial side. So this offers good lateral stiffness to the boot while still letting it have good flexibility. So you get great ankle support with the Tech 7. With the Atojo, now with this boot, it's a little bit different. So what they've actually done is, again, you have a pivot point, lateral and medial pivots, but they actually made 2 pivot points. So again, great lateral stiffness. And the reason that they did this 2 pivot system was that on the medial side, they wanted to have the first pivot point down here below the ankle and then one on top. So you get the flexibility and that stiffness, but they said it helped them slim up the inside of the boot to get a nice flat surface here. But the Atojo does have some extra features built in to help with hyperextension and flexion. One of them being right here in the front. So you see you have this little insert right here, which is removable, by the way. But this has a stop on it. So if I bend this back, you can see it catches on that lower strap. And then if I bend forward, it'll hit there and it'll stop. So it offers just a little bit more support for those impacts, I would say, than with the Tech 7 that doesn't have those. And they do have a couple other hyperextension stops that are built into the the Atojo. So I will say if I had to choose one that just felt a little bit more supportive, I would go with the Atojo in that category, especially like I said earlier, how I feel like it just kind of holds my ankle in place a little bit better. So that's how they match up in that category. Now, let's talk about an important category for me, which is just bike feel. How do these feel on the foot pegs? Can you really feel where your feet are at? How is the braking? How is the shifting? Now in this category, I'm probably gonna give the nod to the Tech 7 for a couple reasons here. So first off, with the Tech 7, you can see the toe box is nice and narrow, it's very low profile. Now for braking, that's not maybe such a big deal, but for shifting, you know, getting those upshifts, getting your foot below the shifter, I like that in a boot. I like a nice low profile toe box. You can see with the Atojo, it's not far off, but it does look just a little bit larger and sits up a little bit higher than with the Tech 7. Also, we already kind of talked about it, but with the inside of the boots, like I said, I do like how the Atojo has a little bit more grip there, a little bit more connected feel to the bike when I'm squeezing it. But here's kind of one of the big differences between these two. With the Tech 7, you have their sole. Like I said, their sole is replaceable. This insert right here. In fact, we have a how-to video that shows you how to replace a sole on an Alpinestars boot, so give that a watch. But the Tech 7 sole is just a little bit softer and has a little bit more give to it. So when I'm standing on the foot pegs, I can feel what's going on beneath my feet just a little bit better. So I have better foot positioning. I can feel the brake pedal a little bit better with the Tech 7. And for me, I really like that in a boot. I like a lot of peg feel. With the Atojo, it's a little bit different. You can see with the Atojo just how thick this sole is. And this is their SRS sole, which stands for Sole Replacement System. And what's great about this sole is it is very stiff, so it offers great support for the rider. So for big impacts, that sole's not gonna get a lot of flex out of it, so it does offer great support in that category. And also with their SRS sole, what's unique about this is that you can replace this sole right from your own home. So if you're hard on soles and you replace them, say once, maybe twice a year, this is something that you can just do at your house. We sell replacement soles. You don't have to either take your boot to a shoe cobbler or try and do it yourself, because with the Tech 7, it is going to require a little bit more work to get that sole replaced. On the drawback side of that with the Atojo is just the fact that being that it is a little bit thicker and it's very stiff, you just don't get as much peg feel. So it took a little bit more getting used to for me when I rode in these to figure out exactly where my feet were and get that correct foot positioning. But once you kind of get used to it, you get that muscle memory, it's not really a big issue. But like I said, since we're comparing these, I do like the peg feel that I do get with the Tech 7. And also one last thing I do want to point out to kind of illustrate that is when I take a Tech 7, I can sit here and you can see I can flex that toe box. With the Atojo, that's not happening. This thing is super rigid, has almost zero flex to it when I do that. So kind of gives you a good idea of just how much more flexibility you get out of the Tech 7. But overall, two really good boots. I've ridden them both. Like I said, I like these. And when I was doing this versus kind of writing everything out, I was having a hard time deciding which one I felt that I would want to have with me. But I got to make a decision at the end of the day. So I'm going to go with the Atojo. Like if you watch this video, there's certain things that I like more about each one of these, but overall for me, I like how well the ankle sits in place in the Atojo. I like that it has that good supportive feel. You know, it's really, really lightweight feeling. Doesn't have the peg feel as much as the Tech 7. But again, you're gonna make trade-offs no matter what boot you're going for. So for me personally, I would go with the Sidi Atojo. That's my choice, but I'd love to hear your feedback because I know there's a lot of people out there that have the Tech 7s or have the Atojo or maybe the Crossfire 3 SRS from Sidi. So tell us what boot you have. What do you like? What do you dislike about it? You know, what's been your experience with durability? You know, any feedback that you can offer, leave that in the comment section below. It can help other riders out there looking to pick up their next set. And which one of these two would you take home if you had to make that decision? To grab your boots today, click on the link or head over to RockyMountainatvmc.com. As always, all orders are $75 ship free. We talked about that fit guarantee. And do not forget that if you have not made up your mind, we have versus videos for all the premium boots against each other. So watch those, watch our premium boot buyer's guide. We even have a premium ultimate, what we call boot shootout video, where we had 5 riders wear all 5 different boots all on the same day, back to back, and give their feedback and tell you which boot was their favorite out of the lot. If you like this video, get subscribed to the Rocky Mountain YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and always stay up to date. I am Chase, and we'll see you on the trails.